You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Afternoon and welcome back to SFA Presents, where we exhibit the works of the talented filmmakers here at William Patterson University. I am your host, Johanca Vallejo, and today we are celebrating the works of 4 young, talented students. Joining me today, we have Matthew Martinez and Jamie Sharpe on my right, Jeremy Jones and Joe Greco to my left, and this is the Directors Roundtable. So, welcome you guys. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. All right. So, I want to dig right into the differences and similarities between film and television. All right, so go right on ahead. Let's talk.
I'll start in the sense that, like, okay, not all television is what I'm about to describe, but most of it is, referring to news and sports, respectively. The live aspect of television is certainly one of the standout differences between television production and film production. You know, in television, you kind of have to get it right on the first try. You can't really bust halfway through the nightly news and expect to like keep going. That's not how the world works. It's like, okay, you have this time slot, you hit it perfectly in this hour, and things go wrong. The best course of action is to be like, okay, everybody should calm down. Next thing, we'll course correct from there. And then, whereas film, you can, you're filming things on a film set, and like, okay, somebody flubs the line or whatever, you can say, you can call cut, take 2, and take 3, and however, so on. So that's kind of the biggest difference for me in terms of like that.
Yeah, it's pretty much once you're done. Once you've started, you're going into it, and once you're done, it's over.
Yeah.
There's no going back. There's no taking
post.
it back. There's no post. You can't really try and, I don't know, reset it, do another shoot, things like that. It's, if you don't do it right the first time, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah, isn't that like the beauty of it though? For like,
It is.
I mean,
it's
film has
it's so much fun.
It's part of the adrenaline. Like when you're in a lot, obviously we're not in the professional world, but from what we've heard, it's there's nothing more exhilarating than kind of being on the clock under so much insane pressure that you have to get it right in that moment.
It's just a lot of like yelling and flailing.
Right,
It's like,
and that's
go to camera 1, go to camera 3, get it up there.
That's like, that's like part of it. So.
But it's very rewarding, I feel like, right? It's very rewarding at the end when you're like, oh man, we just finished. Like we feel good, everything's done, no going back to this, right?
It's always fun.
Yeah.
I mean, in regards to that, there's also beauty in film, however, right? I mean, when you take your time to just craft and master the art.
It's worth it, I think.
Yeah,
Because you can mess up a line, be like, okay, just do it again. You can mess up again, do it again. You do that 15 times. A guy can leave the lens cap on the camera. They'll just retake it. There's rain during the day. You just got to reschedule, but it's going to cost money. But either way, you get it done.
Yeah,
something like that.
Much like everyone else said, like TV, you have that one take, you have to just keep going. But like with film, if you realize, oh, I could have done it a different way, you take it again. You do it as many times as you want to get it perfect. And like, we have post-production. If there are any mistakes we find later in like the production process, we could always fix that in post.
Yeah.
Well, there's also some sort of pressure to like film also, right? I mean, okay, yeah, you have some sort of pressure with TV, but like with film, you have months to do stuff, but like you gotta get it done at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
Like if you miss that deadline, it's like, all right, we're all gonna freak out now, right?
Well, it's kind of like with pre-production for TV as well. You need to be able to get the script in, you need to get the graphics in, you need to get your packages in.
Yeah.
If you don't have all that together before the show, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to, because then you're in scramble mode, and if you don't have all that stuff ready to go, you're not really going to do a good show.
That's true. I would definitely agree.
You can't wing it. It's very, very, very hard to wing it.
No, not at all.
So it's the
Are you
preparedness.
saying that film you can wing it?
Oh, I'm not. No,
Is that
I'm
what
not.
you're trying to say?
No, I'm most certainly not saying that.
Well,
Well,
let me play devil's advocate here. Let me play devil's advocate. You can wing it because when you're in the editing process, you can say to yourself, I like that better than this. Why don't we try this? You can wing it on the fly. TV, but TV you can also wing it when you think about it.
Yeah,
because
you can.
You can always go to a unique shot. So
True.
I think winging it is a big part of production. So
It's all luck.
can't really say winging it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
All right, that is
Yeah,
fair.
winging
That
it
is
is
fair.
definitely a risk, and like risks are very common in like both fields. I think
that's true.
sometimes it's worth it.
You gotta
Sometimes,
risk it for the biscuit.
yeah, sometimes it comes out good, sometimes it doesn't. But I think it's worth taking risks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about positions. You know, like what makes TV to be TV? What makes film to be film?
Okay, well, again, particularly in the news environment or the live television department of television, because there are many, you know, you got your sitcoms, you got your cinematic television type of things like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. That's not that's obviously not what we do because we have a limited budget.
That's just film on a TV scale.
Yeah, on a television scale, in studio, 3-camera shoot, multi-camera, live switched, all that. In a control room, there's at least 8 moving parts.
It's about distribution, no?
Yeah, in every production, there's 8 moving parts, and that's not counting the people in the studio. So it's a whole big thing, and you know, if one person messes up, the whole thing could get messed up. But it's up to everyone else who didn't mess up, or you know, to not scream at the person who messed up. Be like, okay, it's okay, just hold on, move on, go to the next. You know, don't look behind.
Yeah.
Go what's next.
Yeah,
All you gotta do is roll the punches.
Exactly.
That's
It's
all
like,
it
and
is.
if you don't, you're gonna mess yourself up more. You're like, oh no, I get all in my head. I messed up. I didn't take the right camera. I didn't put the right graphic. Like, no, you just to keep your cool.
All right.
It's easy to get in your own head in TV.
Very much so.
Especially
that's true.
because you got all those people just like everyone's yelling, everyone's like trying to get it done, and when you think you're the one cog in the machine that's not working right, it gets to you, but you have to be able to just get out of it real quick and be like, okay, I made that mistake, move on.
I mean, when you're directing, it's all about, you know, like trying to maintain your focus as much as possible. It's about handling every single thing at once. It's about making sure that everyone is listening to you. You're the director. You give out what everyone else needs to, you know, do for the next thing to happen. I mean, it's really a tough job, especially as a director.
Right.
But talking about directing, let's take a look at what directing for TV looks like.
Ready to roll and record, roll and record.
Speed.
Okay. Ready to fade to 2 with
Stand by.
music,
Here we
mic,
go.
and cue. In 5,
5,
4,
4,
3, 2, 1. Fade to 2,
and go.
music.
Welcome back to the desk. The Pioneer softball team is just a few weeks from gracing the diamond again, and Justin,
Okay,
Jimmy, Steven,
ready
and
to
Chris
wait
are
till
here
they
to
look.
break down the upcoming season. Fellas, the Pioneer softball team went 23-15 in 2018. Good record, still could be improved upon. Justin, we'll go to you first. What are some improvements you want to see in the teammate?
Well, if we take a look at what we all think should be improved.
Ready to fade up on camera 4 with music. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade on camera 4, music. And ready fade through 3, mic and cue. And fade through 3, mic and cue. Fontaine.
This past week, Nintendo held another Nintendo Direct conference, debuting 2 new IPs and announcing a huge update to another.
All right.
With me today is
Ready
Jonah
to
and
wipe
Joe.
G1?
We're gonna take a look at the trailers from this conference. So, guys, let's take a look at the first one for Super Mario Maker 2, which is actually really exciting for me. I'm a big fan of the first one, so I'm excited for the second one to take a look. So let's take a look at that.
And fade to G1. Alright, wipe to G1. I don't know what happened there. It was blank screen. That was weird.
40.
2. And ready to wipe back to 2.
2.
Isn't the language like so different? Like, tell me what all that ready, wipe to the who.
Okay, well, it's like, okay, when there's a lot, like, there's a lot going on when you're opening a block. It's like, so you have to ready you have to ready everybody.
Yeah.
So you're the person that has to make sure what goes on screen is the correct things on screen, right? So you have to say, okay, quiet in the control room because you need quiet. People can't be having side conversations. I hate when that happens. It's the most annoying thing because, like, oh my God,
don't get me
just
started
stop
on that.
talking. We're doing something, all right? You're quiet in the control room, you're quiet in the studio because you want people just hanging around the studio, talking, chatting, whatever. And then you ready everything. You ready the mics, you ready the music, you ready the cue, the talent. And that's all the things you have to say before you finally say in a very rushed execution, which is mostly just me because I'm insane. Ready the mic and cue talent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready to font them. You know, it's stuff like that. fonting them is just putting the graphic there. So there's a lot of calls, and depending on what the show is, depends on how much is like kind of goes before the ready, or before you actually do it.
Okay, interesting. So speaking about the language for television is very different from the language of film. What does that look like?
Well, for film, if one person messes up, then you gotta be ready to have like a backup person. Like, let's say the sound guy has to leave like very early, and then like, wait, let me rephrase that. So if someone messes up, you basically gotta, on the day of filming, you basically gotta rush to like fill him position, and so you can get the shots in right, and you can finish early. Because once that happens, it's gonna be all messed up and everything. You know?
I feel like with directing with film, you're kind of set on like, directing with film, you're kind of focused on directing the actors, while everyone else on your crew kind of is their own independent person. You have your AD who kind of makes sure that everything's going like on schedule, but I think the director focuses mainly on what they have to do, and then everyone else kind of just worries about their own type of thing.
So then, go right ahead.
Okay. So a director for film is basically more personal than a director for TV, where it's like, director for TV, you're in the back, you're yelling at people, and if they're not listening to you, someone's in trouble.
Yeah, with being a director for film, you kind of have to be good at talking to people. Like if you're not communicating well with your actors, they're not going to fully understand what you want them to do.
Yeah, especially like you're talking with actors, especially ones you hire who think they're, oh, I'm an actor, I'm cool. Like, no, you're in my movie though, so you have to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to be, you're right. You have to be able to have that voice, because if you don't, they're not gonna listen to you. You're gonna do whatever they want.
If you're not good at communicating your vision well to other people, that vision isn't going to be something that's going to be seen on screen.
Right.
So it's like a mix of like, you have to be affirmative, but you also have to like,
You gotta put your foot down.
you know, you put your foot down, be a little soft, so it's not like cut off words like they do, right? It's more like, okay, now you have the time to actually full sentences. Hey man, like, can you actually try and do this a little bit better? You know? So yeah, definitely understand. So why don't we take a look at what directing for film looks like? And that was awesome. So that was a really amazing way to look at what the differences are between film and television. But unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. This wraps up for the 3rd season of SFA Presents. Thank you so much to Matthew, Jamie, Jeremy, and Joe for being here with us. Thank you to our cast and crew, Alec, Clarke, our studio manager, and thank you to everyone for watching. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Student Film Association and follow us on Instagram at WPU SFA for more information on the club's upcoming events. Tune in for the next upcoming show.